Chicago. No matter how far away I've traveled, you have always been my home. After an 8-year hiatus, I am back and on a mission to visit every brewery in the Chicagoland area via public transportation to see how much fun you can have without having to worry about getting behind the wheel. My name is Megan Ponte, and please join me for all of the eats, drinks, and laughs as we discover what's on the rail. The next stop on this wild ride is Eris Brewery and Cider House, which is very near and dear to my heart. Located mere steps away from the Irving Park stop of the Blue Line in Old Irving, Eris is the total package of gorgeous location, incredible food, and all the beer and cider you could hope for. The lovely ladies of Eris were kind enough to sit down and hang out with me for a while. Let's go check in with them. And welcome to What's on the Rail. My name is Megan Ponte, and I'm sitting here with the wonderful ladies of Eris Brewing. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Michelle Foyk.
Katie Pizza. And thank you again so much for having me. Why don't we start off with just, how did you guys get started? I mean, I know you are two of the first women to open a brewery within Chicagoland area. Mm-hmm. Is it Illinois?
It's Illinois, I think. I mean, okay. I haven't heard anything else, so okay. I'm willing to hear the feedback back about if somebody else has done that also. But
put it out into the world, and then someone's like, "That's not right." Then we will accept that that's not right.
right, yeah. So, but I think we are, and we opened the doors in 2018. So at that point in time, we were.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, background kind of goes to the idea of us being in hospitality in a sense. Like my background is 10 years with Goose Island.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. And then 3 years with Revolution, and then another 2 years with Virtue. So the hospitality industry has kind of been under, like, in my skin and in my blood, as Katie likes to call it, because I was born into a hotel restaurant with my family.
You really?
Yeah, in Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, very
I know,
nice.
Right? Yes.
I was about to say, I was recently watching all of those, like, crazy things that happen in Dell's videos.
Yeah.
Oh, I fell down that rabbit hole a little too hard. But
you gotta be careful with that.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. One thing I definitely wanted to touch on was Eris. The name itself, I mean, I am a huge geek for Greek mythology, and like, you guys are just throwing this, like, golden apple into the space. If you wouldn't mind just giving kind of, for those of you who may not be as versed in Greek mythology, kind of a little bit of the background of, like, why Eris, why the name?
Yeah. Okay, well, Eris is the Greek goddess of chaos and discord. She was not, I guess, the most popular of goddesses.
I don't think so.
So there was
kept her own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, she can make,
I mean, who doesn't want a little bit of chaos in their life?
You can make your own fun. So she found herself not invited to a pretty high-profile wedding. So she decided to bring a gift anyway. She made this golden apple. She wrote "To the Fairest" on it and just tossed it into the wedding. So "To the fairest," you know, like, polite people would probably say, "Oh, it's meant for the bride," because it's a wedding. But these are not polite times. And so three goddesses decided to, kick up a fuss about it, and one thing leads to another, and a 10-year war is the result, the Trojan War.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, I mean, you get three goddesses in a room together, like, shit's bound to go down, so.
Whose ego is going to prevail, right? You know, it's like, who's going to do what? You know? So, unless we all stand together, which is,
right?
You know, that's what we'd like to do.
Whose bribes are the best?
Right.
Was what it turned into with poor Paris. He was supposed to settle, like, Zeus took a big step back. He did not want to say it. He's like, let's have this human decide.
Yeah.
So
right?
That's, So, war.
Which, I mean, that just adds to this beautiful layer of, like, let's just add a little bit of chaos in here. Like, oh, I just love it.
Yeah. It was probably the best story that we came up with when we looked at all the different goddesses. Yeah. I mean, there's been so many different names we thought of, too, and it just fit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you had mentioned about throwing the apple into our space. Well, our marketing, kind of states that, like, we threw the golden apple into the brewery industry, and we're the ones making cider.
Yes, so I have a lot of friends who are gluten intolerant, and which basically means that like when we are going out to eat, it's not even a question. We come here.
Awesome.
Because it's like you have incredible cider options, and you have like a really, really good menu that has both gluten-free options, also meat-free options.
Yes.
Like I order those cauliflower wings way too much. So yeah, like no, I'm not joking. Clearly, I've been here way
Right?
too
No,
long.
no kidding. Yeah, someone once said, you can't be everything to everyone, and I dare them to say that we can't because we have tried.
Yeah.
So even our French fries are gluten free because we put them in a gluten free fryer.
Right,
None of those fryers touch.
and vegan. So the fryer is gluten free and vegan because it makes a difference. And I
does.
say this because from experience, I have I'm celiac. So
Okay.
I've gone to places where the French fries are made in the same fryer as breaded things. And I can definitely say that is not made up. People get sick.
Yeah. So, other than, having this beautiful tap room, we're located actually in an old Masonic temple in Old Irving Park. What kind of stood out to you about this location?
Everything.
We just fell in love with the building. There's the practical elements of the proximity to both a Blue Line train and a Metra, which is fantastic. There's a CTA stop right outside, so locational like trifecta of nice things. It was there, but really, you're flanked by an eastern exposure and a western exposure of like 17 feet tall windows. You have light, and it's very, very nice. The space feels good.
It does. It's so open and inviting. And like I said, I am super biased that you guys are in the neighborhood.
We don't mind.
Well, especially because for the most part, northwest side of the city, we don't necessarily see as many breweries around this neighborhood. Like it seems to be very central around the quote unquote fun neighborhoods.
Sure.
So having something that is, again, so accessible to public transportation and just, offering something else in the neighborhood to do because, I don't think any of us are struggling for places to eat around here, but like having somewhere that has such like an incredible environment and where you get that wonderful experience is truly fantastic. I see we have some...
Yeah, I wanted to open it up, but I was like, what point should I do that?
Like any point.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to pour you the first pedestrian here.
Look at that.
There you go. Katie.
Thank you all.
Pour myself one. So this year, normally we're a destination. Normally we are a restaurant that people come to, whether, like she said, Blue Line, the Metra, the highway even, But because of COVID and different things that were happening, we are now changing the idea of what we're doing, and we're putting things in cans. So hence the reason why you see the cans sitting on the table today is because normally...
we're very happy with them.
Yes, we are. That's true too. We're very happy with them. Normally we would be pouring everything from a draft system and bringing it up here for you, but we get to showcase our cider cans for sure this time.
So how long have we been canning?
July
since April.
Actually our first cans went out in July, but we are in-house.
Okay,
our in-house. We have to do testings, obviously.
Oh,
first,
of course, quality
so
control.
She's right.
Very
April
key.
Was our
It was
first
April
band
or May. I think we got the machine in April, and then we did the canning run in May.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right.
But then, and prior to that, maybe we were out in kegs, but other than that, no, you got to come to the pub, get it here. And that just wasn't really working in 2020.
Okay. So we opened up the pedestrian. Do we want to give a little bit of background about this beforehand, or should we just dive in? Because...
I already tried it just to make sure it was okay. So, go ahead, give it a try first, and then we can talk all about it.
That's about as crisp and as clean of a cider as you could want.
It's pure apple.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's the introductory step, as we say, right? Because it's a pedestrian, common.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. Definitely just all apple. We back sweeten it with apple.
It's like your starter cider, And so when you know, when when we had a bar, you know, that would be the easiest thing to give someone a sample of and say like, hey, what do you think of this? Do you want to go sweeter? Do you want to try some more flavors? You know, so you just start here and then we'd like
you can kind of build from there.
Yeah, it's like a decision tree that all starts here.
Yeah, it has the best reflection of our base cider.
Okay.
You know, and then we back sweeten it with fresh pressed juice from Peterson Farms. So we're in Michigan, you know, apple purveyor? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know the words for it. But we definitely get our juice from Michigan. And with that being said, it's like that's the best reputation. We get the fresh pressed juice, and then it tastes like biting into a ripe apple.
It does, and
you know.
Is it Granny Smith? Because like you get that little bit of like tart, like sourness to it. Okay.
Yeah. So the suggestion is there that it's a Granny Smith. But truth is that they're grocery store apples. So yes, a Granny Smith would be in there. A Pink Lady would be in there. Red Delicious would be in there. Yeah.
Okay.
But our marketing was, you know, hey, it makes sense because that's what people tend to say. Yeah, that's what a Granny Smith tastes like.
Yeah.
You know, a Granny Smith on its own would not be the best apple to make the cider on by itself. But the fact that it's all grocery store apples, relatable apples to our guests.
Oh yeah.
Is what it is.
And I do think there was a little bit of inception there of like, yep, that is green, that is a Granny Smith, like
we got it right.
Your marketing works. Congratulations.
Right, so you definitely get the apple, but you would never call it like juicy. You know, you wouldn't be like, I'm drinking juice, I'm drinking a juice box, I'm drinking, you know, it just, with making cider, we are licensed as a winery because fermented fruit equals wine, fermented grain is going to be the BR and or distilling. So they're separate license classifications, but this definitely comes across to a lot of our guests more as a wine than
the aroma.
A juice.
In the notes of the aroma, like when you take the aroma on it, you'll smell a little bit of that yeast. You know, you smell ripe apple, like right from the skins in a sense, but the yeast does come out a little bit, and it's champagne yeast, you know, that we use. So you've got that nice freshness almost coming out of that.
And
so a lot of wine drinkers.
Effervescence to it as well, which I'm sure it's part
of the process.
Part of the process.
Definitely.
So what do we have next on the docket? It looks like the Van Mojo.
Yeah, this is our Van Mojo. It is our dry hopped mosaic cider that is made with blueberries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you had this before?
I have. I would be lying.
I was going to say, I think you probably have had everything on this table so far.
So, I have. Actually, all of the ciders here that we're putting out in front of you right now,
thank you.
are ciders that we opened with. So back in February of 2018, these were from the original menu.
Okay.
These are our cores,
Which I'm very glad that you brought your cores to showcase today, because one of my main goals for this is that anybody can watch this and be like, I know that these will always be here. And of course, I'm going to ask you to tease me a little bit later and just tell me about what grand deliciousness you have coming up on the horizon.
For
we can blow your mind.
Do not threaten me with a good time. Do not threaten me with a good time.
I love it.
Okay.
Man, the aroma on this, it just smells so good. And coming out of the can too, I was really excited because we were worried that, you know, in the can, what's the aroma going to smell like? And this thing just blows it out of the water.
And that's a trend that I've been noticing in the industry of just more breweries going from cans to bottles. I feel like bottles were very, very popular for many years. I bought one of those like dumb Illinois bottle cap maps, and then everybody stopped doing bottles.
I forgot about those.
Sucker. I know. It's maybe like half full. You got the boundary.
Yep.
So that you kind of know what it is. But yeah, well, I mean, I think part of the allure of cans is, one, they're a lot more transportable, but also it's basically a mini keg.
Never thought of it that way. A mini keg. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I've always looked at it like as in like good for the planet or recyclable.
Yes.
So you could take it out. Like, you can't bring glass to the beach.
Exactly.
You know, so how do we open up more area for people to take out the stuff that they want to drink instead of the stuff they don't want to drink, but they have to bring it because it's in a can.
Exactly.
So I never thought about the mini keg though. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah. Which also, I mean, this is very much a beach beer.
Oh, beef cider. Beef gets you right.
Beef
Let's
cider.
get you right.
Yes,
This is
thank
cider.
you. Thank you.
We just had a training class and we were trying to explain to our staff yesterday that there is no such thing as cider beer. Okay?
Yeah.
No cider beer.
Yeah.
Now there's apple ales, but there is no such thing as cider beer. Just FYI.
Yeah. But that adds up. I was about to say, I don't know if I've ever heard somebody call it a cider beer.
We have.
We have. It was tough in the early days with interviews and then articles, and it's like we're so grateful for, you know, whatever publicity we got at any given point in time, and we still are, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you know, but then you hear cider beer, and it's like, ouch, you know, and it's like you gotta, you know.
We need that and or thrown in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes. For sure. So, what do you think about that one?
Oh, I mean, I love this beer. Like the blueberry.
What did you say again?
Oh!
I'm so gonna keep doing this. I hope this makes it on.
You know, I was about to say
They're actually gonna get a little button, like a
Yes.
little like
Little taser.
you know, like let's get an empty cup. I'll just put a jar in the middle every time I call it a beer. Just be like, nope, that's $1 in the
There you
jar.
go, yes.
That will go to your bartender later. Oh my.
Well, it's a good thing you're doing this. This is the second episode because imagine if you were like further down the road.
Oh my gosh, yeah. See, you guys are still very much in the guinea pig phase of this experimentation.
Be like that.
we've been called worse.
Oh,
Yeah. So, I mean, another thing about the Van Van Mojo is that a lot of craft beer drinkers were very curious about how we were going to supply a cider with a dry hop.
yeah.
So luckily for us, that was a crossover. It was their first introduction to trying a cider that was at Eris. You know, because most people came in, well, we just wanted your beer. We don't want your cider. In the early days in 2018, right? And so when we told them that we had a dry hop cider, they're like, come on,
How's
really?
that
Like, how does that work?
How's that gonna
you know?
work? Yeah.
Yeah, so the blueberry is it's what makes it makes.
Oh yeah.
Makes it makes. Okay.
It makes it make.
That's my new
that.
my new quote. It makes it make.
So what do we have next on the docket?
Want to talk about this one?
Lush.
I mean, just look at that beautiful blush color.
I know, right?
It's
Rose
lovely.
gold. Rose gold. So we make a cherry cider that's called Blush. We do talk about how it's not a rosé on the can itself.
Okay.
So, but the Blush is made out of two different types of cherries.
Okay.
We use a tart and a sweet cherry, or tart and a dark sweet cherry, so we don't get that medicine flavor profile.
Yep.
You know, you remember as a kid?
Oh.
Yep.
Way too familiar with that.
Yeah. So with the two different types of cider, or two different types of cherries, we really do have a balanced product that tastes so nice, and it's still on the dry side.
Yeah.
And you're really getting the flavor of the tart cherry in the beginning, and
Yeah.
I swear the smoothness later on of the dark cherry.
You do.
And
You
when
really
Michelle
do.
talks about balance, that's one of the things that, you know, as one learns more about cider and adding flavoring to cider is like, if you can't taste the apple anymore, you know, is it really a cider?
Yes.
Or are you just making flavored alcohol hooch?
Yeah.
Are you making hooch? Or is it a cider? Is it recognizably, I taste cherry, I taste apple, I taste a whole bunch of crazy with the Van Van Mojo. That was part of its charm, part of the appeal.
Yep.
Yeah, and we chose to go with the Blush at the end too, is because it's just slightly sweeter, slight, you know, than the tartness of the blueberry, the Van Van Mojo, and definitely the dryness of the pedestrian. So I used to do it where like we pedestrian, Blush, Van Van, but it really makes more sense to do pedestrian, Van Van, and then Blush.
Yeah, it does.
Uh,
I guess one question I like to ask is, so you guys have been around since 2018. Where do you really see yourself in 5 years down the road, or what would you like people to know you for? Because I know it sounds like there might be a little bit of like a changing of your branding, a little bit of like, instead of being, you know, a destination, more so being.
yeah.
Well, definitely production and just expansion of our line from beyond. We've got a few more products in this that are definitely in cans, but these definitely are the primary. Within the building itself, though, we do have room to expand. We have a potential event space upstairs. A lot of neighbors would like to see a rooftop deck happening, but that's a little further out of reach due to the occupancy load requirements. So, I mean, they've built things, you can see, it's very, substantial, all of this, but when you're building a building in 1910, you're not really thinking about having people on top of it. So that doesn't have the, the weight support we would that current code would want us to have for having people on it. But it's a great view.
Yeah,
definitely
really is a great view.
Our parking lot is going away.
Yes, we're going to put hopefully more fermentation space out there, so that our production can get a little bigger, and so that our brewers don't pass out when we have the next juice delivery. Because we've got this fermentation. We've got five individual 1,000-gallon fermentation tanks. So they'll take in the raw juice, and they'll all, because you're getting it all at the same time, you're fermenting it all at the same time. And so it's very, you have to do some wellness checks periodically to make sure
it's a lot going
everything's
through.
okay.
4,000 to 5,000 gallons of juice done in 14 days.
It's
bigger than what breweries do. It's bigger than a big brew day. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's interesting downstairs. Sure.
But so then if we add some more tanks outside, that opens things up, and then more blending and experimenting can happen inside.
The patio
itself is becoming the place.
It is.
The COVID, it really was a surprise to us, in a good way, that the Chicago allowed us to use our parking lot as patio space. So we expanded into that, and we're very, very grateful for that. And beyond that, we were surprised at how well it was adopted, because we had a lot of competition beforehand, where people would go to the beach, people would spend their summers in festivals, packed areas. So it's like a little patio is like crickets, there's not a lot going on there, but people are willing to come out for our patio.
And with us expanding into the parking lot, it gives us a little bit more creativity of with the decorations and the lights and all that kind of stuff. So we won the Reader's Choice Award for Best Alfresco.
There you go.
So we're really excited about that. So we're just going to keep that tradition going on, right? So
I mean, you almost have to at this point.
I mean, what's 17 parking spots? Who needs that, right? You have the street, you can park out there.
I mean, for the most part, maybe not today, but most days
that's because there's construction.
Yes. Normally, there's quite a bit of street parking around here.
Yes.
Or, kind of the whole, very plentiful. Or, you could always take the blue line.
And the reason why we're not putting the 17 spots in. The Metra, too. I mean, for all those people living in the suburbs, the Metra, we had groups of people coming in on the Metra to spend their evening here at Eris, because it's like going downtown. And
without the hassles of actually going downtown.
We had a lot of lady nights coming out too, where people were coming from Palatine, coming from Barrington, and they would meet here and they would all get together, and it was fun to
I don't know, I may not have filled you in on this. Got an email earlier. Barley's Angels is coming back.
See?
They want to do a little outdoor gathering.
Oh,
that'd be great.
We also have a motorcycle group that's coming out next Monday. They're doing a women's ride, and they're going to stop here for snacks and some drinks and the night there. So
that's amazing.
We're lucky that we have a lot of support from everybody in a sense, but a lot of women, women in organizations also are very excited.
Well, and being a woman who was in the industry for many years, it is not a super. There's not a lot of women in the industry. Let's just call it the way it is. And may not always be the most friendly to women. Is that a struggle that you guys have felt like you've overcome? Or has everybody kind of just been welcoming and just hell yeah, kick ass, we love you guys?
When you say everyone,
The royal we.
The royal we. Yes.
I think I'm gonna need a little bit more. Okay. I think our first year we didn't really talk too much about us being a woman-ran business. We had a little bit of it out there, but not a lot. And people noticed, though, something was different. The way we ran our establishment. Our employees noticed it was different because the way we decided we were going to run the atmosphere of our place with our employees, and things on that end. It wasn't until about 2019 that we really started pushing the woman-ran business because someone's like, why aren't you? And
we actually, it was tough because we were really trying to get a logo that was, that didn't skew to, we already had a feminine name, so we're just like, we don't want to be like the chick beer, or like the girly option or whatever, because we were surrounded by, there weren't that many examples, but we would see bottles of beer with pink labels and like things that had high heels on them and things that had
didn't make any sense to us.
Where it was very clearly a marketing ploy to be like, oh, I bet ladies will like this.
Right.
We wanted to prove our quality of cider, we wanted to prove the quality of beer, and we wanted to prove that our atmosphere was worth coming back to before we had to go out there and say, yes, we're a woman ran. So like, I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody else, but we knew that what we were going to do when we opened the doors was going to be good. We didn't need to prove it to anybody else, but we didn't want to attach that at that point in time because it should be given.
We didn't want to be support us because.
Right, exactly.
Right. But once people realized what we were doing and that we were successful and that we had a great quality product and that we were running a good establishment, that's when we're like, okay. And everything else will happen. Life happened. Me Too movement happened. All these things happened. And we're like, we're proud of it.
We are.
As you should be. As you should be.
Yeah.
Because, it's not to sound like too cheesy or anything, but it really is inspiring for young women who are looking to get into the industry. My stint in the industry was decently short-lived, but that's more so because I sold out and got a different job. But it's great to have those positive female role models in the space.
You talk about selling out, but when we own a restaurant, our servers here have so many different goals, and our line cooks, our bartenders, everybody here has a different goal sometimes. Does everybody want to stay in hospitality? No. Sometimes these guys are just grabbing that job because they need the cash. So
because
for
it's
us,
flexible enough scheduling against their other commitments in life. So
So for us, we're encouraging them. If you can find a better job, if you can find a better place in your career, we want you to go. We want to. Why not mentor and grow them, and then have the employees go out and do what they really want to do with their life? And if anything ever happens, come back. Yes, the door's wide open. As long as we tell you the door's wide open, it's okay. But
that's not always the case. Right? Don't everyone come back, please.
Well, hold on a second. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we've had people that have gone out to careers and not enjoyed them, and have called and said, "Hey, I'd like to come back. Can I pick up a couple of shifts? Can I do some work with you guys again?" And it's very open. So I think that's why our industry is so neat.
It is it is definitely one of the components that I miss is there is definitely that family-esque vibe of especially back when you could actually go to beer fest and stuff.
It was
it was almost like a family reunion every time because you were seeing the same people from the industry. They're like, oh, hey buddy, how you been? How are your kids?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
So I know I already, not to completely change gears, but I'm going to completely change gears.
Okay.
One thing I know I mentioned earlier is I am a glutton for punishment, and you guys need to tease me about what's on deck, what new beers, what new ciders do we have?
Okay, well, we've currently on tap, we have a jalapeno and mango and some tea I can't pronounce.
Basa Oolong. It's a Chinese tea that is kind of very oolong, but it's peaty. Yeah, smoky
Ooh.
peat flavor profile. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So that's a lot of fun. We call
what's
that
that called?
Paradox.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe in a month or so, we're going to bring back Awakening. And that
Okay.
is a strawberry apricot concoction that is just,
Yeah.
all of the, what we wanted to invoke there was just all of the positivity associated with fair weather, 'Cause it's always
Yes.
so, it's always such a narrow little sliver in Chicago, you really want to celebrate it like with open arms and full hearts.
I mean,
It's time we awaken anyway. Hopefully everyone's getting their vaccines, and
Exactly.
awakening kind of like that's the idea of it was like to
Coming
bring
out
the
of
freshness.
hibernation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
yes. And it has been a very long hibernation for
Right.
most of us.
Right.
Oh,
Straw Barbarella will be back out again in July. So that's our strawberry rhubarb. You obviously know that one.
I do. That is okay. That is my sister's favorite cider.
Nice.
And every time that we come here, she's like, "Is it back?" And I was just like, "No, it's not back yet. Like it's." Like we were here in February, and she's like, "Oh, like
Oh,
is it
gosh.
back?" And I was like,
No.
Why? Why would it be here? No, it's not." Patience, Ubu.
Right. Well, right now, peach and bong is our thing. So we didn't have that out here to taste. I mean, we could always go grab it, but peach and bong is our peach basil cider. That is our first seasonal ever to be put in a can.
Okay.
Yep. And it's also been in our docket for a little while now, at least 2 years. So
Okay.
that has like blown up a lot. And so it's been a lot of fun to see that like
There's
cider
definitely
like
been
really.
some formulation tweaks.
Yes.
Yeah.
But holy hell, I thought I put that on silent.
That is her Scooby-Doo soundtrack in our lives. So
That is.
Sorry.
fantastic. It's okay. Mine's the Harry Potter theme. If you haven't noticed that there's a
love
deep
it.
appreciation.
Oh my gosh.
Deep
So,
love.
no, but that's one of the standard ringtones on an iPhone. And the reason I selected it is because I think they call it sci-fi, like maybe like a spaceship landing
thank
or
you.
something like that. But I come from a family of people who have like melody ringtones, like a song, and they would like, their phone would ring and they would just like be listening to the song. They'd like wait for a logical break in the song before they, pick up the phone. And I'm like, I do not want that to be me. I want it to be like, for the love of God, please stop that noise. And that was the deciding factor. So I do apologize.
talk about chaos. I mean, that's
Right?
a perfect
Yes.
example right there is what Katie just did.
So not to like completely date myself, but like back when at high school I had a flip phone and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I had the Indiana Jones theme song.
Ooh.
And like I was a nerd, did debate, like absolutely loved it.
Did you wait for the break and then like
So there was a round
There
where
it comes.
clearly I did not have my phone on silent, and I was like in the middle of like my closing arguments, and then you just hear do 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 do.
No
do.
kidding.
And
Like the perfect moment, the perfect tune.
And I just went with it. I was
Yeah.
just like, I am not making a great argument right now, but this is making everything I say sound 10 times more credible. So let's
that's
keep
great.
this going. So,
Well,
then-
Michelle, you brought a beer out
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Did you
I
have
did,
something
yes.
for a blend?
Yes, so sometimes we do blends. So let's get that head going a little bit more on that one. There we go. Perfect. So this is all work, no play IPA.
okay.
All right, so it's one of the IPAs. So obviously, we do beer. Okay,
Yeah.
I know that we haven't really talked a lot about it, but we do beer. This is one of Joe Flores, is our head brewer and cider maker creation. So go ahead and just smell that one out if you want. Beautiful, 4 different types of hops, dry hops. You can smell that really nicely.
Yeah.
Floral, stone fruits, all that kind of jazz. Nice malty background.
Yeah.
It's pretty balanced beer. It's got a little bit of bitterness at the end, but not something that's going to overwhelm anybody that doesn't like an IPA.
Yeah, it's so I know this is kind of a crazy thing to say, but IPAs are not my favorite style of beer.
Okay.
So like you will never hear me yelling about hop profiles
Got it.
on the show.
Got Well, let's make this even better then, if you don't like IPAs, okay? Because what we do here is we
Ooh.
create blends. And I'm going to give it all to you because I just
Oh my
think it should
goodness.
be that way. Now, it
Okay.
should be a 50-50 blend, so my fault. Okay, so maybe I went a little heavy on the blueberry. But give that a try if you don't like I know, right? I know.
Well, and that's the thing. I appreciate IPAs for the style that they are, but there's sure. I feel like there's kind of this trend that's been happening of just like, oh my god, if it's not an IPA, I'm not drinking it.
Wait, are you talking about like if it's not a hazy IPA, I'm not drinking it? Nothing against that, because I used to be the worst about hazy IPAs, and then I fell in love with them. So if you go to my house, I have hazy IPAs all over the place now.
And like I feel like I appreciate every.
So what did you think of that?
I really like that. That is
right.
Yeah,
now, sometimes, like what we found with the blends is that sometimes the result is greater than the sum of its parts. And it's something I can say, but like I don't know from experience because I can't drink our beers, due to the, due to the whole celiac thing. But I have been told that it's true.
So I wasn't trying to be rude, but I just knew Katie couldn't have one. So that is why I only brought 2 glasses
so you're being very courteous.
Hey.
I don't want to get her sick, okay? It's happened once before, and I never want to do it again. Ay.
That was pretty funny, though.
Yeah, it was. But, yeah, so, I mean, it changes the profile of the beer. It refreshes it, and then now you've got an IPA with blueberries. Yeah. Because the mosaic hops is already there.
Exactly.
It's in the beer and it's in the blueberry, or it's in the Van Van Mojo. So now you've got just a whole different drink. And, for certain people at home, it's fun.
Yeah.
You get to create your own recipe.
Be like Dr. Science.
Yes. And you can be like, oh, maybe I don't want that much blueberry. Or you could be like, no, like I just want like a little bit of...
The hint.
Just the hintiest hint.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, you take the Van Van with some chocolate stouts. It's like a chocolate-covered blueberry. Mm. Yeah, I mean, we have so much fun with that.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
So much.
Sorry, just doing the math.
I know, right? We should try that.
And you can see the Post-it notes appear
Totally.
over her head, like little clouds.
Where it's like, oh no, I guess I'm going to have to drink some more beer and cider, but not a beer cider.
Thank you, yes.
I would like to.
I guess technically would that count as a beer cider?
We call it blend.
A blend. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we still don't want anyone to think that it's a cider beer or a beer cider.
So, you've given me the tease of what fun new beers are going to happen. Do you guys have any fun events coming up? Especially, people are getting vaccinated now.
Yeah.
Like, I want to take those antibodies for a stroll around the block,
So, vegan vengeance, no?
Vegan vengeance.
Yeah,
So back in September, we had an indoor event called the Eris Eruption Brisket Bonanza, or E2B2.
I like it.
So it was because we missed the festivals, but we also knew that we can have 50 people inside based on the guidelines.
Yeah.
And we invited other breweries to participate with us because on the Northwest side, as you're probably aware, there are some people who are just smoking maniacs, not like chimney smoke, but in terms of their barbecue, and they love their brisket, and they love their pulled pork. They love everything. And so it was not difficult to find people to participate in this. We partnered with Alarmist, Old Irving Brewing, and Lake Effect Brewing. And they're just opening up a new space too.
I know, I heard they got the old firehouse for this. Oh my, I am so excited for them.
Good, exciting things for them.
We have a collab with them too.
Do you really?
Yes, so that's another thing. So we should pump that out too. I don't know when it's going to be ready. It's in a barrel, so it might take forever, but...
I was about to say, that's the beautiful thing is once this is on the internet, it's on.
It's on. There we go.
But we wanted to do a similar event in appreciation for our vegan guests because as a community, they are very supportive. They are lovely about the community. Yeah. A celiac community would be you get something wrong, they get sick. That's awful, but a vegan is just thank you so much for having more than just a salad on your menu that I can eat. Yeah. So we're thank you. We want to be nice right back at you. So we're going to have a similar event with, again, Alarmist, Twisted Hippo. And who's the third? Was it?
OIB.
OIB again. Okay,
They're
good.
Do it again.
Yeah, good.
Very nice.
Last time around, OIB tied us for first place.
They did on the brisket.
So, the stakes are high.
I was about to say, it sounds like there's going to be a little bit of a showdown happening.
There definitely is.
There could be a
and
showdown.
It looks like they might be roasting cauliflower. So it's got a cauliflower might be the special ingredient that they're all working with to create an entree sandwich and or.
I was about to say, I'm
dish.
waiting for this chop basket to come up and be like, yes, no, you have cauliflower and peanut butter. What are you going to do with it?
What could you possibly do with it? Yeah, gross.
I'm glad she said it because I was like, wait a minute.
Okay. Here's what I was thinking.
Okay,
Like,
tell me.
Yeah, this is the vision.
All right.
I was.
Where are we going with this?
I was thinking maybe like, have you ever had a peanut butter and jelly wing? Where it's
Wing?
like, yeah.
No, but it sounds fantastic.
It's really good actually.
I've
where,
had French toast that way.
Mm.
Yes, but not a wing.
Yeah, where like it's like almost like a Thai chili peanut sauce on it with like where you could like.
Okay, now you're blowing my mind. I see where
All
she's
right.
going. Wow.
I can get behind
I was about to say,
it with
I watched
the, like the
way
Thai
too
and
much
chili
Chopped.
in there, but like,
Yeah.
if it's just peanut butter and jelly wing, that would be a hard pass.
That would
for
be-
Katie.
That would
Hard
just be
pass.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Just like a wing, like okay, you dip it in the peanut
butter and then a little bit of the jelly. I mean,
you know-
I might try it, but you know, hey.
Yeah, I'm not
No, I
opposed.
know you wouldn't. I know. That is how we differ.
Yeah.
See, that
She knows what she likes. I'm like, I'll try it. If I don't like it afterwards, I'll spit it out.
Yeah. See, no, I am the like. I've got given myself food poisoning more times than I can count.
Me too.
Because I'll be like, that looks so weird. I want to try it. Like, and every time I'm like, why did I make this decision? Or it will be like, this is the best decision ever. Like, there's zero in between.
Yeah.
Zero. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, vegan vengeance is going to be one thing that we are working with.
We are targeting June for that.
We are targeting June for that, yes.
Okay.
So we're really excited. My goodness, I don't know what else we have. We have
We were
some...
thinking about August for the brisket bonanza again.
Yes, we were.
And then October for Oktoberfest. Our Oktoberfest, we've done it actually every year since we've opened.
Okay.
Yes.
But it has changed over time,
Yeah.
just as, our laws parameters we're allowed to operate within, we still find a way to have a good time.
Yeah.
Good.
We challenge anyone who says differently.
Now, for the vegan bonanza, is that going to be indoor, outdoor, or a little bit of both?
We'd love to do it outdoors, but we have to acknowledge the possibility that if it rains,
What was
gotta
it
be
that you were
inside.
saying
soggy
earlier?
cauliflower.
What was it you were saying earlier? Playing chicken with the weather?
Playing chicken with the weather.
Yep, exactly.
We're gonna that's a cocktail now, by the way.
Chicken with the weather?
Playing chicken with the weather.
What's your chicken part of the cocktail?
Well,
Like,
the
Oh
threatening
no,
skies.
I get that.
Oh,
But what liquor are we putting in?
Kind
I
of
mean,
the
if
threatening
it's a
skies.
chicken.
So Wendy made it for me.
You were
couple days ago.
You've had this cocktail already?
Yeah, man, I'm on the cutting edge of like
Apparently.
this stuff. So
research and development.
I've been left out. Please tell.
Okay, so vodka, blue curacao, like mostly vodka, blue curacao, and then pineapple juice to make it look muddled and crazy. And then there's an orange ginger syrup and a little bit of lemon.
This is like a blue-green cocktail that's going to come out?
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
That does sound
Yeah, it's weird.
fantastic.
I'm trying to find black cocktail umbrellas, but they're really expensive. They are so expensive.
Why does it have to be black?
Because it's like, because you're going out, you want to bring your umbrella, it might rain.
God, I am so behind the times here. I get it. Okay. Makes sense. Because to me, a Hawaiian umbrella is also just as
Right,
good, but black makes sense.
Black
Yeah.
makes sense. It's
Yeah.
sensible.
Or
Get
like,
it is.
if you want to throw like a nice little How I Met Your Mother reference in there, be like yellow umbrella.
Oh my God, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Nope.
You're like, no, too sunny.
It's got to be black.
Well, there you go. Too
Yep.
sunny. That makes more
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
Too
Gotta
sunny in
be black.
Philadelphia.
So I know we mentioned Old Irving, Twisted Hippo, some of your neighbors in the area.
We
So-
love our neighbors.
Just to give a little bit of love.
Yeah.
I was about to say, did I make a very weird face? I felt
You
myself
did.
make a very weird face.
But we're waiting.
What's going to come out of her hands?
Oh my! The first video the first video, I was like, oh, nobody's even gonna question if I'm Italian, because I'm sitting here like this, just like, what?
She is married to an Italian, okay?
I'm
So
married
she
to-
gets
Get
all
it.
of this
Get
all
it.
the time.
I do.
Have you had to get to the point where you like move the glass away like mid-story because you don't want it covering you?
No.
Really?
But
Really?
No, but the first time I met my sister-in-law, okay, so we went up to visit her and her family in Galena. You know, we're making a meal. It's like everyone gets involved, everyone dives in. It's very fun. You feel welcome. You feel put to work. And so here I was trying to be helpful, but like every time I moved, I got hit in the head with a pan that was hanging from the ceiling. Because apparently, like, I'm 5'8". I'm actually the shortest person in my family.
Really?
Of like glamorous Amazons or whatever. But like in there, like I couldn't move in that kitchen. It was very
It's because everybody else is under 5
it was
feet.
very bracing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they zip off. I mean, like they were like fast too, you know?
I have met these people. I know what she's talking about.
They move faster and they can dodge pots and pans.
Yes.
With the best of them.
I was about to say, there's a level of efficiency that is just ingrained from birth.
Yeah.
Okay, but here was what the question was going to be. Let's see if my face will be less weird. But just to give a little bit of love to like other breweries in the area. It could be not in the area.
Yeah.
Whatever you would really like. Suit yourself. I'm easy. But
We've heard that.
thank you. I've been trying so hard to put that out
The
there.
reputation's there.
Single.
All right, folks, let's get up. Let's make a lineup. Let's go.
So, is there a beer that you wish you guys would have brewed? Like that you're like, you've had from like a different brewery in the area where you're like, oh my God, what did it?
And how about for Katie? What kind of cider?
Oh, yeah,
that
what
she could do?
cider?
Like a different cider from a different company.
All right,
that
you go
could
first.
brew.
I will
go
ponder.
first. Okay.
Okay.
A beer that we would have brewed that somebody else has that I wish we would have done. Wow, that is a thinker.
Oh, and you thought this was going to be all fun and games.
Oh, I know. I'm like, geez, you're making my brain hurt. I have to say that I am a sucker for the double beezer. I do love what Trevor's doing over there, and the double beezer is something that, like, my husband knows at home that, like, if I've had a bad day, he's like, you know, it used to be beezer, and now I'm just like, he's like, okay, it looks like the double beezer is what's coming your way. So I would say double beezer right now, out of the love of that idea. Though I have so many more. I've just had so many more other ones that have been good too. So used to be a La Juice by Alarmist. Not that they're losing any traction with me, but Double Beezer came out, and I was like, okay, that's even more of a scale than La Juice. So, you know, giving a little love to the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then in terms of cider, you know, it's difficult to stay local, you know?
Yeah.
So Wandering Angus, they were actually our cider consultants for planning out our equipment. And they have a lovely oaked cider. They just call it oaked. And that is beautiful. That's not off the table for us trying to duplicate. That's right, guys.
James, if you're out there somewhere, we're coming
gunning
after
for
you.
you. Gunning for you, James.
No pun
But
intended.
we do love that.
Nick Gunn is old
Nick
partner.
Gunn was a former partner. In any case, love that. It's just so, it's with heritage apples. It's just so, there's just such a lovely quality to it. I also love, is it Blake's that did Flannel Mouth?
Yes.
Okay, that's another really, really lovely cider. So Blake's has some fantastic examples, as does Vandermill with their Nunica Pine.
Nunica Pine, I missed that.
Yeah,
I missed
that's
that
a good
one.
one.
That was the first hop cider I've ever really truly loved.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Anthem had a nice one too.
Anthem had their hop cider too, yeah, but Nunica Pine, for me, won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So much to love.
Well, ladies, thank you again so much for having me. This has been a blast and a half talking with you. Any last thoughts you want to give the audience before?
Oh goodness.
No.
No, she's done. She's done. She's like, this is the longest interview I've done.
I'm out.
I've had all my cider here. I'm out. Where's
like
my
their
gin?
glasses
And
are
I'm-
all empty.
And I'm tapped.
I am going to plug one thing.
Okay, cool.
Get to our website to find out where we have our cans and where we have our drafts. Because she works really hard on getting this list together, and it needs to be out there more often. So yes,
update that damn thing.
she does.
Yeah, you go to the website, and it's a little buggy, so you might have to reload the page. But yeah, so go to the can finder, and then you can put in an address, and boof, behold.
And that's where you can buy it.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
please, I'm gonna plug that one.
See, I said I was done.
And here you thought you were
Secret.
done.
She made a
Every
liar
time
out
you
of
thought
me.
you were out, we just kept pulling you back
Made
in.
a liar out of me. Okay.
Well, Michelle, Katie, again, thank you again.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you all for watching this.
Thank
and
you.
Please come to Eris. Take the blue line. It cannot be any easier. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Have fun.